And good evening, everyone. I'm First Alert Meteorologist CJ Cartledge here. I'm going to turn myself down just a tad bit here because I probably blew out your speakers just now. But we are watching live storms move across the ArkLaTex as we speak here. And we have just got off the air recently from a tornado warning in Red River and Bienville Parish. Let's zoom into how that rotation has been doing so far here. And it has been holding up, actually. It started to spin up very quickly once it reached the northern portions of Red River Parish. But once it crossed over into Bienville Parish, that rotation pretty much fizzled right back out, back to where it was. So brief spin ups are still possible as we move through the next couple of hours or so. And leading towards the 10 p.m. hour, I believe once we hit the 10 p.m. hour, this main line of strong to severe storms will be pretty much out of the region, if not out of the region before then. This line is moving pretty fast here. And actually, I did say I was going to go over that last rotation that we were seeing that prompted the last tornado warning, which was not too long ago here. So at around 6:56, we were watching the radar, and not much is really popping up here. And keep an eye out on this area in particular. I'm going to circle it here on the screen. Keep an eye out on this area here. I just want to show you how fast that this can happen here. Or between one radar scan and the next is how fast it pretty much happened. That exactly at that moment, around 7:05 or 7:04, is when that tornado warning was issued. So in less than 10 minutes, that from 6:57, 6:58 to 7:07 is when that rotation started to turn up a little bit. And that's what prompted us to go on air for a tornado warning for, I would say, around 15 minutes or so. That rotation slowly made its way towards the Bienville Parish and Red River Parish line, and it slowly made its way towards the Bienville Parish area just south of Ringgold. And as you can see, it starts to weaken out or broaden out a little bit. And by that time, I believe at around 7:50 or 7:20 something, so around 7:25, just before 7:25, is when we hopped off of the air because of the lack of rotation that it now has. And as you can see, that rotation did not fizzle out to be anything. But hopefully, we won't receive any types of reports that a tornado had fell down there or had a tornado had dropped down, because we did not see anything on radar, and we don't want to see any types of reports like that. Obviously. We don't want to see any damage reports. But if you have any questions about what we can expect through the rest of this hour or this evening, we're not in the afternoon no more. If you have questions about what we can expect through the rest of this evening, please let me know down in the chat. In the chat on Facebook. We're also streaming on YouTube and on the KSLA News 12 app. So if you're watching on KSLA News 12 app, make sure to find us on Facebook at KSLA News 12 and search us up on YouTube at KSLA News 12 here. I'm just looking along the line to see if there's any other types of rotation or areas of rotation here. There's areas of some high winds here near Campty. And I believe this is Natchitoches Parish, northern Natchitoches Parish. But once this line moves into Winfield and Wynn Parish there, the line will pretty much be outside of the ArkLaTex technically. Wynn Parish is not technically not part of our DMA. And the same with Jackson Parish, which encompasses Jonesboro. So we only have a little bit of ways to go before I would say most of us are in the clear here, but we're not in the clear just yet for the entire ArkLaTex here. We'll still have to wait for a little bit of some time, maybe the next hour to an hour and a half before we can finally say we're in the clear from severe weather. But for those in the northern portion of the ArkLaTex, mainly receiving rainfall, we're going to look at the past 3-hour rainfall here. If this starts to load up for you guys, we're going to see how much rain has fallen so far according to the MAX system and according to the rainfall rates that it has measured here. And the far northern portion of the ArkLaTex, we saw some areas of the blue color is denoting rainfall amounts between 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. The purple colors are denoting the rainfall rates and potential for rainfall, I believe. This is unofficial amounts, by the way, between 1.5 to 2 inches, 2.5 inches. That is here. But so we've seen some higher rain totals over in East Texas, over there by Longview and Carthage and Natchitoches in some localized areas, Natchitoches County. But we're still seeing some heavy rainfall amounts here along that line as it moves through the rest of the region. We've seen a good deal of rainfall up there by McCurtain County. The same thing for areas in northeastern Texas as well. and they definitely need it. They definitely need it. Those areas up in northeastern Texas and McCurtain County are dealing with severe drought as of right now. But there has been a question up there in the chat, so we're gonna pull that up on the screen for you guys. Miss Trent or Mr. Trent Eaton says, "What about Natchitoches?" Thanks. And he says, he asks about Natchitoches. So we're gonna go down to Natchitoches, and Natchitoches is receiving some of these storms as of right now. And actually, Natchitoches is about to receive a good deal of heavy winds on the way. That's associated with this severe thunderstorm warning that is in place for those areas. So Natchitoches, make sure you're in your safe space as of right now. And currently, there's not much of rotation going on here, just mainly straight line winds, as you can see there by the lighter red colors that you see there on the screen, and not much of a rotation at all associated with this part of the storm here. So that is thankfully good in our direction here, or in your direction, by Natchitoches. So Natchitoches are going to be dealing with the heavy rainfall and the front edge of this storm very shortly here. I could expect them to be under the heavy rainfall as of right now. And I would say they will be in the heavy rainfall for the next at least 30 minutes. Provençal, same thing. Provençal is in the middle of the heavy rainfall. Florine just got out of the heavy rain, dealing with light to moderate rain right now. Hornbeck, just outside of the region, I believe, is dealing with the heavy rainfall right now. So it's a nice swath of heavy rainfall and gusty winds, just ranging from northern Natchitoches Parish all the way into portions just outside the region here, into Sabine Parish as well. That's really where the highest severe threat is as of right now. For those that are along the I-20 corridor, a bit northward there, the storms are seeming to, start to fall apart. Seeing some lesser heavy rainfall amounts, or lesser red colors that you see there on the screen. But yeah, we're not seeing much heavy rainfall in areas between, I would say, Ringgold, and between I-20 and down by Natchitoches Parish. Northern Natchitoches Parish is starting to see that heavy rainfall, but as you can see, not much heavy rainfall ongoing here. Things are starting to wind down a bit for the storms that are moving through Bienville Parish and portions of, okay, that's northern Natchitoches Parish, portions of, I would say, Red River Parish there. Just around I-20 down to northern Natchitoches Parish is when this are dealing with storms that aren't as severe as where they were before. Most of the severe storms are in Natchitoches Parish right now, and moving all the way down into Sabine Parish currently. So this is pretty much where the severe storms are as of right now. Mainly heavy rainfall is ongoing everywhere else around the region. For those in Shreveport, pretty much in the severe weather clear from severe weather for tonight. For those in Stonewall, Carthage, Mount Enterprise, Center, Nacogdoches, Henderson, and especially over here all the way in East Texas, in the clear from severe weather for tonight. But we can still see some wraparound showers here for the overnight hours for tonight. And not expect to bring much severe weather, just some heavy rainfall for the ArkLaTex there. But for Spring Hill, Magnolia, still dealing with the heavy rainfall out there. But we can still see the potential for severe weather, as well as the potential for a few brief spin-ups in areas like Ringgold and Martin, or Jonesboro still have a little bit of ways to go. Ruston, those that are ahead of the front. Ringgold maybe not so much. They saw their bits of, being on edge a little bit as that rotation was heading just south of their area. But for those that are ahead of this line, mainly east of this line, still have to deal with this line ahead of us. So we're getting another notion from the National Weather Service chat, or another message from them. They said they're going to cancel the severe thunderstorm warning for Sabine County in Texas. They're issuing a new tornado watch for Caldwell Parish, Grant Parish, Jackson Parish, LaSalle Parish, Lincoln, Ouachita, Union, and Wynn Parish. Now, I believe this tornado watch, by the way, not a warning, this watch lasts until 2 a.m. for those areas. They're continuing the tornado watch for Bienville, Claiborne, Natchitoches, Red River, Sabine, and Webster. They have canceled the tornado watch for Bossier Parish, Caddo Parish, DeSoto Parish, Sabine County, St. Augustine County, and Shelby County. So let's take a quick look at what's going on in terms of the tornado watches as of now. So the newly issued tornado watches there are for areas that are just outside of the region here. But for those that are shaded in the pink color within the region, they are still under this tornado watch until 9 p.m. tonight. Let's see. It says Let's try to find out where. I'm trying to see where exactly Natchitoches is in this bunch of counties that they put into these messages here. Okay, so those within the ArkLaTex, like Bienville Parish, Natchitoches Parish, Red River Parish, Webster Parish, Claiborne, and Sabine, are in this tornado watch until 9 p.m. But everywhere elsewhere on the very outskirts of the ArkLaTex there by Wynn Parish, Jackson Parish, areas including Ruston, I believe, maybe Caldwell Parish. Okay, so Caldwell, Jackson, LaSalle, Washita, Union, Grant, Lincoln, and Wynn parishes are all under a tornado watch until 2 a.m. Only areas under a tornado watch until 9 p.m. are Bienville, Natchitoches, Red River, Webster, Claiborne, and Sabine. Somebody mentions that the power is out in Converse. Thank you for that report there. I'll put that back up on the screen for you guys. It's from Miss Robin Whittington. Power's out in Converse. Converse, I believe, is in Texas or Louisiana. I believe it's in Louisiana, excuse me. Do you think the watch will expire at 9 for Bienville? From Caitlin Blundell. The watch will expire for Bienville Parish at 9 p.m. So, yes, that answers your question. We have been getting some thunderstorm wind damage reports. Law enforcement received report of a down power line along Highway 7 east at Center, or County Road 3156, 7 miles northeast of Center in Shelby County. We've also received some reports of wind-related damage resulting in multiple service runs related to down power lines across Natchitoches City and County. Reported down trees and down power lines between Cushing and Douglas in Natchitoches in East Texas. Okay. And I think that's about it since we've had the tornado warning recently. Somebody just asked, is the tornado risk high for Ruston? For Ruston, I believe the tornado risk was pretty much the same as everywhere else around the region. So we were still dealing with the slight risk for severe weather for areas around I-20 and southward. I believe Ruston is along that line of slight risk of severe weather. I'm going to look again just to be exactly sure. Okay, so Ruston was under the marginal risk for severe weather as of the latest update here for Saturday afternoon into the evening. The slight risk of severe weather is only in place for southern Bienville Parish, southern Jackson Parish, and portions of Red River Parish, all of Natchitoches Parish, portions of DeSoto Parish, as well as all of Sabine Parish within Louisiana, and portions of Sabine County as well. But Sabine County has been released from the tornado watch, as what we just saw moments ago. Or Sabine Parish is still under the watch, but Sabine County is not under the watch. So Sabine County is not under the watch anymore. Sabine Parish is in Louisiana. So Ruston, so just to answer your question, is the tornado risk high for Ruston? It is not high. Just to answer your question, short and sweet, it's not high right now, but it's not also not out of the question. So yes, we just have a little bit ways to go before these storms are finally outside of the ArkLaTex. And something that just caught my eye here was a tornado warning just outside of the area. This is for the Alexandria area as well. For not for the Alexandria immediate area, but for their DMA here. Let's just take a quick look at what's going on out there in that direction. So we're gonna go closest radar right there. You can't really see it that much, but I can see it there. As you can see, there's a little bit of a high wind gust there. I'm gonna circle it on the screen just so you guys can see it. You can't see it already. It's a bit of a high wind gust there with winds blowing towards the radar in the green color. And it's starting to circulate right there. As you can see by that little hole, they seem to be dealing with a severe weather situation. Let's see if this matches up on debris tracker. It doesn't really show much, and you probably won't be able to see much here, mainly due to how close to the radar it is. But debris tracker pretty much lines up with the wind velocity to see if there's any debris flying in the air. If there is debris flying in the air and there's a bit of some rotation, it's a very good indicator that there is a tornado on the ground. But as of right now, there is no tornado on the ground, and it's not very clear to see. But there is a rotation there, as you saw in what I just circled right there, just south and east of Leesville, and it's as near highway. I cannot see the numbers on there. Let's see. Let's zoom. Let's say it says Highway LA 408, just south of LA Highway 408, just to the east of 171, in the east of New Lano and Leesville, southeast of Leesville. It's heading towards the Fort Polk radar in the Fort Polk area. Or actually the Fort Polk area. The rotation is just north of Fort Polk, as you can see there. But the Fort Polk radar is what you see there on the screen, in the middle of the screen right there. It's heading towards that radar. Somebody asks about Natchitoches Parish. Let's zoom into what Natchitoches Parish is dealing with right now. And as you can see before, last time we checked in on Natchitoches Parish, they were about to deal with the heavy winds there, but they have just received those heavy winds and the heavy rainfall just right now, just mainly straight line winds and nothing rotating or nothing starting to rotate over there as of right now. So that is definitely a good sign. And the heavy rainfall is still ongoing in those areas out there. We just got a new radar scan there. It seems that a couple of isolated showers are ahead of the front right there, as you can see. Still under a severe thunderstorm warning, and I'm going to check the details on that in just a second. As you can see, Grant, Natchitoches, Sabine, and Wynn Parish under this severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15 p.m. And by 8:15, this system out here will more than likely, or this line will more than likely be into the Wynn Parish area and almost out of the Shreveport-Bossier DMA or our DMA. So yeah, we're almost done with this. We're almost done with these storms, guys. We're almost done. And for those that are dealing with light to moderate rain as of right now in the far northwestern portion of the ArkLaTex, you guys are in the clear. I would say everywhere. Let's draw a line here. Everywhere to the east of this line, I would say, is in the clear. Actually, I would draw that a little bit. Let's draw that a little bit better. Let's draw that a little bit better. All right, everywhere to the east of this line, I would say, or not to the east, but to the west, excuse me. Everywhere to the west of this line, Shreveport, Ida, Longview, Natchitoches, DeSoto Parish, Sabine Parish, Bossier Parish, and everywhere to the west of that line, all in the clear from severe weather, I would say, for the rest of the night. All you have to deal with is the light to moderate rainfall, and if you hear a few instances of heavy rain through the overnight hours, it's mainly due to the wraparound showers. Not expect to bring some severe weather for tonight here, let alone not expect to bring any tornadoes, thankfully. More than likely, once this line moves out of the ArkLaTex, the one by Natchitoches Parish right now, once that line finally makes its way out of the region, did not mean to draw that there. Once that line makes its way out of the region for the third time, we should be all in the clear from severe weather. What about Winfield, Louisiana? This line of storms is still on the way to Winfield, Louisiana. Winfield is just about right here on just outside technically of our DMA, but you can still see some heavy rainfall, mainly due to this is the most Within the ArkLaTex, this right here, this line of storms is promoting the heaviest type of storms. It's the most severe storms, I would say, mainly because of the heavy rainfall and the damaging winds that it's bringing to those areas right there. That's the most severe storms that we are dealing with as of right now across the entire ArkLaTex. It's expected to push eastward towards Winfield, still bringing some heavy rainfall and damaging winds to those areas. We could even see a few brief, maybe a brief spin up or two, but the chance looks to be low as of right now. Something was in my eye just now. Lawana Walker says, thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. All right. So this is the live radar picture as of right now. Not much is really going on currently. We'll stay until this severe thunderstorm warning expires, and we might be able to hop off this stream in just a little bit here. I'm going to see if there's any other chatter in the National Weather Service chat that I should know about. And these storms finally moving out of the ArkLaTex at 8 p.m. Usually when we see storms like these, they're in here for the count. They stay here through the overnight hours into like noon or midnight. No, I said noon. Midnight or 1 a.m. But at the latest, we were expecting these storms to stay until at least around 11 p.m. at the latest here. And most of the models were saying 9 p.m. Here we are at 8 p.m. and these storms are almost out of the ArkLaTex here. I could expect another 30 minutes or so, and 9 p.m. would very well be a good estimate for when these storms will finally exit the ArkLaTex. So one of our models is right on in terms of timing. Definitely right on in terms of timing here. But as you can see, there's another tornado warning in effect for the Fort Polk area here. I believe there's another rotation beginning to form out there. As you can see, there is another rotation there. It's a pretty low-level rotation as well. Just to the south and east of Fort Polk and just near the Fort Polk area. If you can't see it there, I'm going to circle it on the screen for you guys. And there it is. And the reason why this is low level, because of how close it is to the radar. Mainly, if the radar is standing right here, it points at an angle pretty much that's slightly higher than flat level. So if this is flat level, it points slightly higher. So as you move farther away from the radar, the higher the radar beam is in the sky. So it's not too far away from the radar. So this is denoted as low level rotation. But yeah, let's get back into the ArkLaTex and let's see if there's any more other questions there in the chat. For those that are in the way of this area of rotation, that's LA 463, LA 112, all in the way of those rotation. And the other rotation there just east of Leesville in the way of, I believe it's heading towards Simpson and along LA Highway 28. Make sure to be in your safe space. As of right now, those areas are under tornado warnings currently. Seeing a little bit of a dip here in the wind velocity. Hopefully that does not turn out into anything that would be concerning here, but we're going to be watching that very closely. Yes, we would definitely watch that very closely. Thank you so much for typing in the YouTube chat. Somebody said, you got this, young king. All praises for your work. Much appreciated. Right, there's nothing else in the Facebook chat as of right now. So I believe all the questions there have been answered, hopefully. If you guys have any more questions, please let me know. I'll be on here for just a couple more minutes. Let's look at future track. Let's look at future track and just show you guys if the HRRR is on par with the storms here. And it shows that it's pretty much on par. It's doing a very good job as of right now, showing current conditions or initial conditions here. And we should see these storms finally exit the ArkLaTex, the stronger storms that is, by the time we reach around 10 to 11 p.m. tonight. And then, but we still have the wraparound showers still left to go, as you can see there on the screen. And these showers should still bring some heavy rainfall at times through the overnight hours and into early Sunday morning. And we shouldn't deal with dry conditions until we reach around the sunrise hours here on our Sunday. So as we're waking up and heading to church on your Sunday morning, maybe not much of a maybe not much rain out there, but it would definitely be wet roadways out there. Still need to drive safely out there on those roadways. But if you're heading out early in the morning, to church services, make sure to drive slowly, as there could still be rain out there on the roadways. Okay. See if there's any more questions there. In the National Weather Service chat, somebody says, Lucky, Louisiana. Lucky maybe just outside of our area, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Going back to the live radar here, just to show you guys exactly where Lucky is. And I'm going to show you guys in just a second. Okay. So it is just in our area here. I believe it's in very close to Bienville. There we go. Just south of Bienville. Lucky, Louisiana. We're still dealing with the heavy rainfall in those areas, but we are going to be dealing with this heavy rainfall for the next, I believe, 30 minutes to an hour, and then you could start to see some lighter rainfall amounts or lighter rainfall rates here. Just lesser rain, as a fancy word for lesser rain. But you should be in the clear within the next 30 minutes to an hour, I would say. Once we hit around 9 p.m., those storms should be finally out of the stronger storms should finally be outside of the ArkLaTex into Jackson and Wynn Parish. I just mentioned Lucky, Louisiana, which is in Bienville Parish there. So once again, still dealing with the heavy rainfall right now in Bienville Parish. But we should start to see these heavier showers move outside of the ArkLaTex by around 9 p.m. So at the end of this hour and the top of the next hour, we can finally start to see some calmer conditions. Just still rainfall, but still calmer conditions here. Are we good for Ruston? Not so much. You still have to deal with some heavier rainfall. Even though the severe storms are just south of you guys, you're going to be still dealing with some heavy rainfall through the next hour to hour and a half. Just at a lower chance for severe weather. The higher chance for severe weather is definitely in portions of Wynn Parish, Natchitoches Parish, and especially in those areas that are just outside of the region in our Alexandria counties. There's now a third tornado warning right next to each other, fourth and fifth. There's actually tornado warnings firing off in the areas just south of the ArkLaTex there, where there is a higher chance for tornadoes. 5 concurrent tornado warnings are in effect as of right now, just south of the ArkLaTex region. This is by the Fort Polk area, and three consecutive, all right next to each other, tornado warnings are in effect right now for areas just by Fort Polk, and there's 2 tornado warnings in effect by Lake Charles, near the Lake Charles area, heading towards Lake Charles there. So were you just watching that, Jake?
I was. In fact, it looks like there is that hook on reflectivity, that middle tornado warning near Fort Polk looks pretty nasty. And there for a second, there's a very clear CC signature on there as well. So it looks like we might have had a brief touchdown.
Oh, wow. It's actually showing up on radar, too. Yeah. Near Fort Polk. Let me stop the radar here. Not much is really going on within the ArkLaTex, but there's a whole lot popping off outside of the ArkLaTex right now. And as you can see, there's a bit of a CC, not a CC drop right now. I'm going to actually look at that. It doesn't really show up here on this radar, but I'm going to check to see it on my phone to see if that actually holds true here.
You can see in this last scan, it's still there.
Oh,
It doesn't have the blues as much, but it's
okay. Then definitely. I definitely see that. That's by the Fort Polk radar, or just east of Fort Polk, isn't it? Or where exactly that is that?
It's just east of the Fort Polk base. It might actually still be on Fort Polk property. It's moving south of the radar right now.
Right. Okay. I definitely see it.
Oh, looks
So
like they just added a fourth tornado warning for the
I
next 2
definitely
days.
see it. So they're talking about Jake is talking about this rotation right here, just east of Fort Polk, and it's heading towards LA Highway 463 right now, and it's mainly heading east, at around mainly northeast, I would say. As of the last few radar scans here, let's take a little bit of a track for you guys that may be listening out there in the near the Alexandria area, near the Fort Polk area as well. We're going to take a little bit of a track on that. Actually, I'm going to get the details to see how fast this storm is moving here. Okay. Let's get a little bit of a track to see how fast the storm is moving. It's moving at east at 40 miles per hour. Okay, let's change this to 40. And we're going to take this track out, mainly east, northeast. Okay, for Cora, if this trend continues to move up to the north and east in terms of this storm here or this area of rotation, 8:33 is your time frame for getting ready. That's when the rotation will be on top of your area. Hineston, I'm more than likely seeing this rotation around 8:43, 10 minutes later. And for Glen Mora, 8:57 is your time frame for when those storms or that area of rotation will be in your area. That is looks to be on radar a confirmed tornado on the ground. It's just south of the radar site, just east of Fort Polk. It's going just south of the radar, heading towards LA Highway 463, heading northeast at around 40 miles per hour. So if you're in any of these cities that are on the screen, make sure to be in your tornado safe space as of right now. There's a potential tornado heading your way. And if you're just joining us once again, we are watching multiple areas of rotation start to fire up here in areas just south of the ArkLaTex here. Okay. Just checking the chat to see if there's any more questions or concerns that anybody may have. But as you can see, there are 6 now concurrent tornado warnings ongoing, 4 near the Fort Polk area and 2 near the Lake Charles area, heading towards Lake Charles. Let's dive into the details associated with, I don't believe we have, or actually we do. I believe, yes, we do have the Lake Charles area on our radar here. So as you can see, just north of Vinton is where that first rotation is. I'm going to draw that out for you guys. There's that first area of rotation there. There's also another area of rotation just east of Orange and along Highway 10. And it's actually heading eastward pretty fast here. I don't know exactly how fast those areas are moving, but they're both moving towards, one of them is moving towards the Lake Charles area, heading towards Vinton first. More than likely going to hit the Vinton area. There's an area of rotation along Interstate 10, I-10. And there's one just north of I-10 and just north of Vinton heading towards DeQuincy. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here down in southern Louisiana and southeastern Texas as well. This is all on the Louisiana side, just crossed over into Louisiana from Texas. But here's the latest updates associated with the severe thunderstorm warning here for the ArkLaTex. So for Grant, Natchitoches, and Wynn parishes, you guys will be under a severe thunderstorm warning until 9 p.m. as of the latest severe thunderstorm warning here. Let's line this up on radar. And as you can see, those storms are finally moving out of the ArkLaTex. And they're not posing much areas of rotation. It's mainly just straight line winds here. So I think it'd be good to hop off of the area. If you guys want me to talk about any area that is just outside of the ArkLaTex, please let me know in the chat. I am about to sign off of here and get ready for the 10 p.m. show later on tonight. Okay, I'm just checking the YouTube chat here. Somebody says the weather has been brutal just about everywhere in the country. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely been brutal. The weather has been getting crazier and crazier every time we look at any different weather event here. But yeah, there's multiple areas of rotation over by Simpson and by Fort Polk right now, and especially by where we were just looking at by Fort Polk. That's insane to see. Okay, just looking at the live radar picture once more, and most of us in the southern half of the ArkLaTex are dealing with the heavy rainfall right now, moderate to heavy rainfall, and those on the far eastern edges of the ArkLaTex are dealing with the heavier rainfall for sure, and the gusty winds right now. These storms will continue to roll through those regions through the next 30 minutes to an hour. For the next 30 minutes, actually, the storms will be pretty much still in the ArkLaTex technically, but after 9 p.m., we should be all in the clear from severe weather within the ArkLaTex, within our viewing area here. So thank you guys so much for tuning into today's live stream. And all of our live streams here with me streaming as well as meteorologist Jake Lambright streaming. We appreciate you guys. We'll also still have a newscast at 10 p.m. Make sure to tune into the newscast to hear the latest updates on what we can expect for tomorrow and your forecast for the Crew of Highland Parade, which rolls at 2 p.m. in the Highland area. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the live streams here and staying weather aware. We hope you guys have a great and safe rest of your evening. And if you still have to deal with these severe storms, make sure to tune into your local programming. We're still going to be posting here for at least as long as these storms remain in the area. But we're going to be hopping off of the stream here because we should be dealing with the heavy rainfall and not much of a tornado threat for the duration of when these systems will be moving through the rest of our area, which is only just a little bit. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I hope you guys have a great and safe rest of your evening.